All right, guys. I know it's been a while since I last did a video online, but I wanna talk about this whole college football playoff thing. Um, I do want to say this. I truly, truly feel bad for Florida State. I do think that they definitely deserve to be in the college football playoff. But I think that the committee did the right thing here to leave him out of it. There's no hate about it. I don't want to say anything bad about Florida State. The guys played out great. They finished an undefeated season, 13-0, playing with a backup against their biggest rival, Florida. Then going into an ACC championship with a third string quarterback going in, they won ugly. Defense helped them out winning that game. But I don't even know what the ratings were in that game because I did not watch it because I was not interested in it because of the players, the competition. But I know that those ratings were low. And I think that's what the committee looked at when they were trying to decide who to put in the college football playoff. TCU is a prime example of last year. I don't think anybody was interested in TCU. I don't think that um, the game was as entertaining as everybody thought they were going to be. So I just wanted to kind of run a couple scenarios and a couple what ifs, let's call them, and see. I'm just curious of what people think because this is something that I haven't heard anybody talk about sports, sports networks or social media, Twitters, etc., etc. So we're looking at what if scenarios. What if Jordan Travis doesn't get hurt? Florida State is in, no doubt. Florida State will be in. Jordan Travis is an amazing talent, amazing quarterback. He elevated that team to the next level. Um, they will be 13-0 again, undefeated with one of the top five quarterbacks in the country this year. Michigan won. They're also undefeated. Washington as well. What if, here's the second what if, Texas didn't play Alabama? What if Alabama didn't play Texas? So maybe Alabama will be undefeated as well. What if Texas did not lose to Oklahoma in a game? It was the last drive they lost that game. What if all these five teams were undefeated? This is again all scenarios. What if situation? We have five Power Five conferences. ACC is the lowest one. What would the committee do then? Would they leave Texas from the Big 12 out? Would they leave the Big 10? Would they leave Washington from the Pac 12, who played Oregon, who were also a top ranked team at the time? They beat them twice. Washington will for sure be in. And Alabama. Alabama beat Georgia team that has not lost in 29 straight games. SEC is the most powerful conference in the country. We know that. I'm not an SEC person. I'm a Big Ten guy. But this is the point where it comes up to who would you leave out? Would you leave out Florida State again? I think so too, because you're not going to leave out any of the other four teams out. This is why I think the committee did the right selection in putting Alabama instead of Florida State in there or Texas, because Texas did beat Alabama head to head. So I think the Florida State was the right choice to not be in there because we also have to think about ratings. We have to think about, are you gonna be watching that game on that Monday or whatever day it is on January 1st? Are you gonna really go and watch? Be like, I cannot wait to watch this Michigan Alabama game. The whole country's gonna be watching that. Wow, we have Michigan versus Florida State with a third string quarterback. Yes, defense win championships. I get that, but they're gonna be like a three-score underdog. There's no fun for the fans, and media's not gonna make as much money as they want to be because the ratings are not gonna be as high. Here's where I think things change. In the future, we're gonna have 12-team playoffs, which I think is going to have even bigger issues than we have now. We have one issue now: Florida State, undefeated, Power 5 champion, not in. Big issue. Next year, we might have three, four, five different teams that are going to be affected by this. What are we going to do then? This is going to get even worse and worse and worse. Because if you think about it, I'm looking at the ratings like right now. We have Michigan at 1, Washington, Texas, Alabama, Florida State, Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Missouri, Penn State, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma, right? Most of the teams are 12-1, 11-1, and 10-2. Here's where the issue happens. This is your top 12 teams right now, college football rankings. Here's your top 50 college football playoff rankings right now. There's one undefeated team that is ranked 20th, Liberty. Liberty is undefeated. They have won the Conference USA championship. Why aren't they in the top 12? They have not lost a game. They're 13-0. And you have teams like Penn State with 10-2, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. Hold up, let's pump on the brakes. Time out. Why isn't Liberty in the top 12? That will be a question for next year, guys. That will be something that we'll be talking about. Why isn't Liberty in there? That's one case. Next one, we're going to go to SMU. SMU is AAC champion with an 11-2 record. They're ranked 17th. They're also not in the playoff. They're a Division I football conference champion. SMU deserves to be in the top 12. Again, why are you having Missouri there at 10-2? Why do you have Penn State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma? Those teams play in top 5 conferences. People would they would prefer to watch. Let's say you have a matchup of Oklahoma, because if I have to look at it currently, Oklahoma would most likely be playing, I don't know, Georgia or Ohio State, let's say. Would you rather watch Oklahoma, Ohio State, or would you rather watch Ohio State versus Liberty? Think about that. We don't want that. Nobody wants to watch that. Everybody would want to watch Oklahoma and Ohio State, not only because of the name of these teams, but the player quality. Again, nothing against Liberty players who are undefeated. Congratulations. These guys are playing their hearts out to be undefeated and to play in a big bowl game against Oregon this year. Power to them. Hopefully they do well. But this also comes up to ratings as well. As a fan of the game, I probably will be like, December 31st, I would rather do something else. I don't want to watch Ohio State or Liberty because I'll check the score. Maybe I have a bet on the game. That's about it. I would not care about it. A very small portion of people, Liberty alumni, will probably be the ones watching it, like Liberty fans, locals. Of course, Ohio State fan base is going to be watching it, but you have this small market of Liberty people that are going to be watching this game versus this big Oklahoma bubble. They have a lot of people in Oklahoma that love Oklahoma, team, and you're going to have a lot bigger ratings there. But here's only 2 teams that I showed you. Here's another one. Troy. Troy is a Sun Belt champion. They're also 11-2. They're ranked 30th. They're not even in the top 25. They're also a Division I football champion. They're not even in the playoff. That's the third team that will be affected in the rankings. Then you have another one, Miami of Ohio. They won the MAC. I know MAC and Action is not a powerful division, but they're also a Division I conference champion with 11-2 record. That's actually better than Penn State, better than Missouri, even better than Oklahoma. Even though they have the same record, Miami of Ohio has a championship. They won their conference, which Oregon lost. Why is Oregon ranked number 8 and Miami of Ohio is 32nd? Those are the things that we're going to see bigger and bigger issue because there's going to be other teams. What about, like I'm looking at Toledo even. They lost their MAC championship game. They're also 11-2. They have a better record than 3 of those top 12 teams. Penn State, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma. They were 11-1 before their championship loss. So technically they were 11-1. They had a better record. They had 1 game extra to play. So those are the things that we need to look at in the future, because I do think there's gonna be a lot more issues coming up. It's gonna have a bigger effect on the teams than just this one Florida State team. I do think that what has to happen in the future is maybe we have a five playoff team, and we have the number one seed get a bye, and the other four teams just play uh, the playoff as it is now. Two plays four. I mean, two plays five, and three plays four, and the number one gets a bye somehow. I don't know. They're gonna have to figure that out, but I'm not sure that the 12 team playoff is the key here. But there's gonna be a lot more teams in the future that's gonna be affected. There's gonna be a lot more, speculations and conspiracies of why somebody got pushed over. Don't get me wrong. I prefer to watch Penn State, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss in Oregon versus the SMU's, Liberties, Troy's, and Miami of Ohio's. But those teams also have a case like Florida State does, that their conference champions have better records than these other higher ranked teams, and they're not in the playoff. So that's one of the things that I haven't seen anybody talk about. That's why, to me, we're gonna have bigger issues in the future. So I do really hope that this video is for some hardcore fan who has the same passion as I do. But I am curious of what other people think about this, because I think that that's a bigger issue here. Yes, Florida State, I truly feel so bad for you guys. Truly do. Because you deserve it. But I already gave you the what if situations. And I do hope, I cannot wait for the playoff games, because those are going to be some amazing games. And here's my predictions too. I do think that Alabama is on a mission. I think that Saban is the better coach and can outcoach Michigan. Michigan does have a very strong team. This is probably Michigan's best team in the last, I don't want to say 20 years, but yeah, this is their best team. And yes, they do have some issues with the offensive line injuries, but I do think that Alabama will come out on top on that game. And also Texas versus Washington. I've been a Michael Penix Jr. Lover all year. I love the guy. I think the kid can play, and but I just think that Texas is just that step above them. I think that Texas wins that game, and I do hope to see a Texas-Alabama national championship battle, in which I think that Texas wins. I think that Texas is the best team in the country. Texas did beat Alabama already once earlier in the season in Alabama. And I think that those are the things that when you look at these matchups here without Florida State in them, these are going to be some huge games, and the TV ratings are going to be through the roof. And ultimately, that's what the media wants. That's what the NCAA wants. And just when you look at the bigger picture, Florida State, you guys you had an amazing season. You will be back next year in a 12 team. I'm very confident you guys are gonna be in the top 12, and you'll get your chance again. I understand that the team is gonna be different, because you're probably gonna lose Coleman to the NFL. You might lose to Jordan Travis. I'm not sure if he's got another year of eligibility. I don't follow Florida State as close as I do other teams. You'll be back there. You're probably one of the top teams in the ACC. I wish you guys luck. But yeah, please let me know what you guys think about this, because I'm really curious of what other fans do think about this, how this 12-team playoff will have an effect in the future for other teams. Because really nobody's talking about that. So, alright guys, hopefully you guys liked the video. Please comment and let me know.